Hey guys, how's it going? It's May the 4th, and we've got a bit of a treat this weekend because we have Call of Duty World War II and also For Honor on a free weekend. So for the next 2 or 3 days, you can play these games completely for free. And we have a third game, which is a new free-to-play shooter, which I'm going to introduce you to later on. So let's start with Call of Duty World War II. Now, Call of Duty WW2 was last year's Call of Duty, and it's pretty much the same, sort of game. It's a you're only going to get the multiplayer for free here, but it's got all of the kill streaks, it's got all of the sort of fast-paced gameplay in the World War II era, and it's basically just your Call of Duty standard affair. I think it's a decent one. They didn't make any massive missteps. Everything is still more classic Call of Duty. There's no jump packs or any strange futuristic weapons or anything. It is grounded in World War II, and I think they've done a pretty good job of it. There is the HQ feature, which is new, and obviously the new loot boxes and those random cards that you get. That's a bit, that's kind of like a modern game thing. Everything's got that these days, so it's not too much sort of surprise there. And I mean, I think they've done a decent job. It's okay. But I think that this sort of Call of Duty formula is getting a little bit tired now, and I'm actually looking forward a bit more to Black Ops 4, which is going to come out later this year, and I'm going to see. I'm interested to see how they shake it up. But yeah, if you can see some gameplay of myself playing it right now, and I'm sure you've played this kind of game a lot yourselves. Next up, we have Ubisoft's For Honor, and For Honor, when it first came out, it wasn't that good. There were a lot of people slating this one and saying it was basically a bit crap. The servers weren't there, the gameplay wasn't quite right, the content was lacking. But I think it's the usual Ubisoft story where they release something which is a little bit unfinished, and then over time they keep improving it and keep adding new features to it. I think the state that it's in now is okay. There's some gameplay you can see in the background now, and I think they haven't changed the sort of core gameplay much, where you have these sort of Simon Says type battles where you need to match the mouse direction with your opponents and strike in the right places. And they've still got the sort of the world kind of PvP conquest type game where you need to take over the map with the help of your buddies in the same faction. So all of the kind of the features that they launched with are still there, but to be honest, I don't see so much new with this one. And maybe they've added new heroes and refined the servers a bit, but to be honest, I think this might not be a great game to spend your time on. If you fancy the idea of a sort of a 1v1 close quarters sort of melee game, if that kind of interests you, then I think you should give it a go. But I think people maybe looking for this sort of game are looking for more depth and just a bit more in terms of the variety and in the way that you fight other players. It's a weird one, and I think probably the free-to-play weekend is a good time to see if you do really like this game. Like Call of Duty, this game is also on a discount, and it's about 35% off. So if you do decide to pick it up, then you can pick it up now on sale. Apart from these big budget games, we also have a third game which is actually completely free to play, and you'll be able to just pick it up and keep it. This is Midair from Archetype Studios. Now, if you remember a game called Star Siege Tribes, like a long time ago, this is basically a 2018 version of that game. You have a lot of unique movement features for a sort of a team-based shooter, and the weapons are kind of straight out of that game as well. So I'll just break it down for you quickly. Basically, you've got a massive map It's a very very large area compared to usual sort of games of this type, and you basically have some unique traversal tools at your disposal. You have the jetpack and the ability to ski down hills, and these were part of the original Star Siege tribes a long time ago, where you'd be able to reach these massive skiing speeds and just get across the map really quickly. Now, to kill your opponents, you have the usual hit scan chain gun, but you also have this disc thrower, which kind of behaves the same way as that game from a long time ago. But yeah, the objective of the game is to take over the enemy's base and destroy their little machines and things which are helping them kit up, and basically capture their flag and take over their base. So I think a while ago I would have the patience to play this game, but I think it's got a little bit too hardcore for me now, and I'm not used to this kind of game probably because of playing too much like Call of Duty. But if this sounds like something that would interest you, looks like large scale maps with unique traversal and also a lot of skill based shooting, then I think this is definitely worth a look.